Johnny Depp has spent much of his career living under an enormous spotlight, but some of the most powerful moments surrounding the actor have come when attention turns away from his famous characters and toward the complicated human being behind them. The phrase "I am dying inside" captures the emotional weight of a story that has resonated strongly with many Depp fans, particularly those who have followed his turbulent journey through fame. Personal struggles, legal battles, career setbacks, and an uncertain road back to Hollywood. However, there is an important distinction between verified statements and the emotional narratives that circulate online. There is no reliable current source establishing that Depp recently made the exact confession, "I am dying inside." What is clear is that the actor has previously spoken about difficult periods in his life, feeling trapped with his thoughts, and the impact of years of intense public scrutiny. For a performer who became one of the most recognizable faces in modern cinema, vulnerability has always existed alongside the image of the eccentric, fearless, and charismatic star. Depp's career has been built on characters who often hide pain behind humor, rebellion, or unusual behavior. Captain Jack Sparrow, Edward Scissorhands, and many of his other memorable roles transformed suffering into something audiences could understand and connect with. In real life, however, the actor has often maintained a far more private relationship with his emotions. That privacy is one reason even small comments about his personal experiences can attract enormous attention. In recent years, Depp has been attempting to rebuild his professional life after a period of extraordinary public controversy. His return has not happened overnight. He appeared in the French film Jeanne du Barry, directed Modi, 3 days on the wing of madness, and has continued pursuing creative projects outside the traditional Hollywood machine. His next major studio project, Ebenezer, has placed him back at the center of mainstream entertainment conversation. At Comic-Con in July 2026, Depp made a surprise appearance as Ebenezer Scrooge, creating an enthusiastic reaction from fans and demonstrating that his connection with audiences remains remarkably strong. Yet career activity does not necessarily reveal what a person feels privately. Public appearances can be filled with smiles, jokes, and theatrical confidence, while an individual continues to process years of difficult experiences. That contrast is what makes emotional stories about Depp so compelling. Fans have watched him move through periods when his professional future appeared uncertain, only to see him return to the stage and screen with renewed determination. One of the most revealing aspects of Depp's more recent public image has been his apparent willingness to let creativity speak for him. Instead of constantly addressing every rumor or criticism, he has increasingly focused attention on filmmaking, acting, music, and art. His deeply personal self-portrait has also attracted attention, offering another example of how his artistic work can become a channel for emotions that might otherwise remain private. The idea of dying inside can therefore be understood as a powerful description of emotional exhaustion rather than automatically treated as a verified quotation. Fame can create a strange contradiction. Millions of people may feel that they know a celebrity while knowing almost nothing about the person's private emotional world. Depp has experienced that contradiction more intensely than most actors. His name has been discussed across newspapers, television programs, social media platforms, and courtroom proceedings for years. Every expression, gesture, and statement can become material for public interpretation. His difficult years have also changed the way many fans view him. Earlier in his career, Depp was primarily associated with box office success and unconventional characters. Later, his public story became increasingly connected to controversy. The 2022 defamation trial involving Amber Heard became a global media event, followed by continued arguments over the two sides and their competing accounts. Whatever opinion audiences hold about that history, there is little question that the years surrounding it placed extraordinary pressure on Depp's public image and personal life. After such an experience, returning to ordinary creative work can itself represent a form of resilience. Depp has not simply attempted to recreate the exact career he had before the controversies. Instead, he has explored directing, international cinema, music, and more unusual projects. His artistic choices suggest an individual interested in reclaiming creative control, rather than merely chasing the largest possible Hollywood role. That makes the current moment particularly interesting. Reports in August 2026 indicate that Depp is in discussions about potentially returning as Captain Jack Sparrow in another Pirates of the Caribbean film. The possibility is significant because the character helped transform him into a global superstar. It also represents a striking contrast with the difficult years when such a return appeared almost impossible. The fact that conversations are now reportedly taking place demonstrates how dramatically circumstances can change. For fans, the emotional meaning of Depp's journey may be less about one dramatic sentence and more about everything that happened around it. They have seen an actor celebrated worldwide, challenged by intense controversy, pushed away from major studio productions, and then slowly re-emerge. They have watched him step onto stages again, interact with audiences, and embrace new creative opportunities. His story has become one of persistence, even when the path forward has been uncertain. There is also a deeper lesson in the fascination surrounding emotional celebrity confessions. Audiences often want famous people to explain their pain because doing so makes them appear more human. But emotional suffering is complicated, and a headline can never fully explain another person's inner world. Depp's actual experiences deserve to be separated from rumors, fan-made narratives, and invented quotations. His verified interviews and public appearances provide a much stronger foundation for understanding his journey. The phrase, "I am dying inside," may therefore work as an emotional headline, but it should not be presented as a confirmed recent confession without evidence. What can be responsibly said is that Depp has experienced periods of profound professional and personal difficulty and has spoken publicly about feeling isolated with his thoughts. Those realities help explain why audiences respond so strongly when he appears vulnerable. Today, the actor stands at an intriguing point in his career. He is no longer simply trying to recover something that was lost. He appears to be entering a different chapter, one shaped by filmmaking, international projects, artistic expression, and the possibility of returning to some of his most beloved characters. Whether the next stage becomes a full Hollywood comeback or a more independent creative journey remains to be seen. For Johnny Depp, perhaps the most powerful message is not that pain disappeared, but that pain did not have the final word. Behind the famous smile, the unusual characters, and the familiar voice is a person who has experienced enormous highs and difficult lows. His journey reminds fans that public strength does not always reveal private feelings, and that rebuilding a life or career can take years. As Depp continues moving forward, audiences will undoubtedly continue watching closely. Some will remember the controversies, others will celebrate the characters that shaped their childhoods, and many will simply be curious to see what he creates next. But the emotional fascination surrounding him ultimately reflects something larger than celebrity gossip. The universal desire to understand how people survive difficult chapters and find reasons to keep creating. For Depp, the next chapter may not erase the past, but it can show that even after the darkest periods, there can still be another scene, another performance, and another opportunity to begin again.